Good morning, everybody. My name is Lisa White. I'm the Health Promotion Manager at 14 Wing. Welcome to my Monday morning short. I know that last week when I did my video, I talked about tips on going back to work. I will be doing a review of that on the 18th, like a little bit of a summary. I had mentioned to you guys too that I was going to talk about pre, during, and post-deployment information. And when I was prepping my notes, I took a look at all the information. It looked like there was a lot there. So what I decided to do is I'm going to do that on the 18th of June instead of today. But today I'm trying something different. We'll see how it goes. I am going to be talking a little bit about the personal power grid. But before I start on doing that, just a bit of a disclaimer. This information is property of the Department of National Defense, so it isn't for other people to use for personal benefit. Like, for example, selling information or presenting the information. Only Strength in the Forces trained facilitators are allowed to present this information. And upcoming this Thursday, in case I forget, Jeanette is up on Thursday for her coffee break briefing, and she's going to be doing exercise as medicine, and she'll be talking about active living. So today I'm going to be talking about the personal power grid and sort of what that looks like. I don't know if you remember, probably in my very first video, I talked about ACT. ACT meaning acceptance, creating a vision, and taking charge, moving forward into a plan once you've accepted the details of what you are planning to do. So underneath this, I'm going to talk about the personal power grid because this is going to have an influence on how you navigate yourself through a posting season, how you navigate yourself through pre, during, and post-deployment. So if I can give you a little tidbit of this information, the next time we meet on the 18th, we'll be able to apply this to the information that we're going to talk about next week. So what it does is the personal power grid helps us look at situations where we have no control and where we have control over our stressors. So there are some stressors that we can control. For example, we can control how we deal with a difficult situation. We can control how we navigate ourselves through the staying home and the pandemic and things like that. So those are a couple of examples of where we would have control. Where we don't have control would be sort of new coworkers, a new CO, potentially a posting or a deployment, and sometimes current events. Some of the things that are happening right now, we don't necessarily have control over what's going on in the world. So that would be something that we wouldn't be able to control. So the personal power grid is about making choices to accept, create a vision, and take action, and put our focus on the stressors that we can influence, and not putting our focus on the things that we can't influence. Because sometimes people do that. We put a lot of energy into something that we can't influence, where we could be putting our energy into something that we can influence. So I'm going to try something here. I've got to move some stuff around because I'm going to show you what the personal power grid diagram looks like. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about it with you so that we can apply it next week. Okay, let's just see here. Scary. Okay, I'm going to try something. Just bear with me for a second. This should take effect in a minute. Hopefully. I'm supposed to be switching the camera around here. Let's try again. Oh, that's not the camera. Hold on. There we go. Where is it? There it is. I'm going to do my best to talk about it while I am holding this. I hope you can all see what that looks like. Okay. So let's take a look at the first quadrant. So let's take a look at this one here, hanging on. Okay. Taking action on activities we have no control over. Trying to affect things beyond our control. It's kind of like spinning your wheels or banging your head against a brick wall, which can leave us feeling tired, frustrated, discouraged, and no sense of accomplishment. So basically, when you have no control, the action that you take over here is that you're trying to influence something that you can control. And that's when it's like spinning your wheels or banging your head against a brick wall. For example, the current situation that we're in, where we have to remain social distancing, there's only certain people we're allowed to see, and so on. So sometimes we just have to accept the situations that we're in, which we'll talk about this in a second. But in here, trying to fight your situation is like banging your head against a brick wall. So that would be sort of hanging on. And I know that a lot of the times people tend to do that, fight against something that they can't control, and wasting a lot of energy on that. The second one that I want to show you, I'm sorry if I'm moving around, but the second one I want to show you is quitting or giving up. Okay. So this is where we're not taking action on things we could have controlled. And again, this can kind of have us feeling helpless, hopeless, no sense of accomplishment, just like the other one. You feel like giving up and taking no action on activities that you could have influenced. For example, parenting of children. Okay, so that sometimes, I mean, I had 2 sons and 3 stepdaughters, and sometimes trying to parent children can be very difficult. And so if I wasn't doing anything about that, and I just carried on in my current situation with maybe fighting or bickering or kids not getting along or not listening and giving up on parenting, that would be quitting, right? Rather than trying to do something about it, in which I'm going to get into the other quadrants too as well. Another form of giving up in here too could be that you get your credit card statement and you know that your finances are not that great, and you kind of just look at your statement and then shred it and don't do anything about your situation. Sometimes we can call quitting or giving up presenteeism. So some people get really frustrated at work and decide, you know what, I give up. I'm just going to go in and put my 8 hours in and go home, and I'm just not going to perform, right? When they could have taken some action and they could have done something about that, right? And instead they just give up or they quit. Okay. And number 3. So these are the 2 that we kind of want to focus on, but it's very important to understand if you're in these 2 quadrants somewhere, because if you're in those 2 quadrants, we want to try to move ourselves into these 2 quadrants. Okay? So acceptance is when you have no control and you don't take action. So I'll use a posting as an example. Okay? You're posted to a new base. You don't have control over that. You're being posted to Cold Lake, for example, or Winnipeg, wherever it might be from Greenwood. And you don't have any say on that. That's where you're going. So part of being in the acceptance quadrant is sort of navigating through acceptance, coming to the point where you can let it go, and then accept the fact that that's where you're going. Okay, so sometimes we have to accept our current situations, and this is what I talked about when we did ACT. I don't know if you remember that a long, long time ago. ACT, this personal power grid, actually sits underneath the ACT principle. So part of that is acceptance and letting go. And so moving away from denial and sadness, and it's okay to have those worries and things like that, but then you move towards acceptance, and then you move towards a better feeling of the situation. And then you sometimes tend to go into the Mastery Quadrant. This quadrant actually feels the best for the personal power grid. It's when you have control, you are taking action. Okay, so now I've accepted the facts that I'm going to be posted. I move into mastery, and I'm going to master in my situation. So now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be looking for, okay, I'm being posted. What do I need to do? Maybe I'm going to call the other base's MFRC, and I'm going to collect information on what is available for me and my family, and so on and so on. So you move into the preparation phase and the action phase, and you're now starting to take action and mastering in your situation. And it can be for anything. It could be any type of situation that you're in, especially for us right now. I mean, I'm trying to master my situation as best I can by not being in the classroom and not having you in front of me and looking at you. So rather than complain and bicker, I'm going to learn my new platforms. I'm going to figure out how am I going to present information to you and so on. So it's taking a situation and being able to go, getting yourselves into these 2 quadrants. And it's important that you brainstorm with yourself to figure out, what am I putting a lot of energy into that I have no control of? And maybe I need to move into that acceptance piece so that I can master in it, right? And not moving into the place where you might give up. In an example for this one, it could be, you're being posted. That was one of the examples that I used, right? And rather than, you know what, I'm getting out of the military then. And that would be a sense of giving up or quitting too as well, right? So that is in a nutshell, the personal power grid. And next time I'm back, I'm going to be talking to you about pre, during, and post deployment. When I looked at the Stress Take Charge book and the information that I have on that, there is a lot of it, and I don't want to shortchange anybody and not giving you guys enough information. So I want to make sure that, because it is posting season and people are being deployed, I want to be able to give you guys enough information to help you through that time. Wow, it's been 8 minutes. That's a short one. That's a shorty short. Who's with me? Amanda Murphy. Hi, Amanda. Wow, I got about 5 or 6 people there. Does anybody have any questions while I'm here? I got a couple minutes left before I leave. If I don't have any questions, I will move on. I want to thank you for coming out to our Monday morning short. That was a quick one today. I got a lot of things I want to get to today. I hope you can tune into the town hall. That's today. I feel like it's at 11, but double check the GMFRC website. I got it wrong last week. I thought it was Friday. I'm thinking it is today. It should be today. What color is the sky? It's blue today. The sky is blue outside. It's a bit chilly. It's been chilly over the weekend, but I think we're moving into more of the double digits this week. That was a good question by Jeanette. I forget what I was talking about now. Oh, it doesn't matter. Jeanette's up on Thursday at 11 o'clock. Tune in for her short then. Turn into the town hall if you can this morning. I think it's around 11, I believe so. Thank you for your time. I hope you got a little info out of that little session that I did. And I hope to see you on the 18th, because this is going to be probably, well, Jeanette and I are trying to figure out what we want to do at the end of June. Do we want to continue doing the Facebook Live, or do we want to move into other platforms? So we're trying to figure out that. So this could be potentially the last month for live broadcast. We haven't decided yet. We're working on that. But if you guys have any ideas for us or any suggestions, please send them our way and we'll take a look at them. But on the 18th, what I want to do is I want to tie in all the stuff that I talked about from my segments into the ending on June 18th. And I feel like Jeanette's got a couple left herself. And then we will keep you informed. We'll still be coming to the Facebook page. We'll just be determining how we want to present our information. So stay tuned for more. Thanks for coming out today and for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you in, I don't know, the 18th, or how many days that is. I don't even know what the date is. 10 days. 10 days from now. Bye, everybody. Have a great day. Stay safe.